Hello, everyone. It's so good to be here with you. Just want to say welcome to all of my amazing people. I'm so glad that you've joined me tonight, and I'm so sorry that we have been away for so long. Lots of things happening behind the scenes. So I'm just going to say hi to everybody, give everybody a minute to come in. Sterling, how are you? Renee Days, thank you. Yes, it was warmer here too. Not so windy, which was nice. And thank you so much for your personal messages you have sent me. Angela L., how are you? Nice to see you here. It's been good to talk to you too. Hello, Robin. How are you? Glitter Bean, so glad you could join us. Crystal Dawn. Hey, Boston Christian, love the flowers. Can't wait to start planting them. Andrea, thank you for joining. Vid Inquiries. Hello, how are you? Who else do we have? James, nice to see ya. Raggedy Susan. Melissa. Sloopy. Every time I see your name, that song comes to my mind. Hello, TTM Fangirl. Hello to our Facebook user. So glad that you're joining us on Facebook. Randy Gravitz in the house. I got to talk to him today. Hi, Jill. I know you're still sick, and I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something to take it all away and make you better. Hey, my Charlie, how you doing? Dee, so glad you could join us. Digital, always nice to see you. Hello, Polygraph. I have to open Facebook so I can see your guys' names because it does not show up on here. So just give me a minute. Dewana Elias. I love your house. Well, it's not my house. It's just a background. That's why you can see some weird things happening with the screen. The sun's shining through the window, so it might fade me in and out. I love Elvis, not Priscilla. Oh, I've heard a lot about that lately. Hey, Raggedy Susan. Jen, nice to see you. Ladybug, hello. Nice to see you, Mystery Christy and Jada. Hope you're doing okay. Let's see here. Olivia, too. Hello. Nice to see you, Charles. And Charlotte, so glad you all could come in tonight. Marcia, I've seen your messages. I'm back. French, you have the same family room as Allie from Undercover Crime. It's the only default that comes in this program. So I'm surprised a lot more people don't use it. Hello, CJK. Stories from the Stone. My buddy, how are you doing? Hi, it's about the effing music. Julianne, friend, nice to see you. All right, I'm getting, rescue all the dogs. Good evening. Miracle Hearts 2. I just got to say, I love that name. Love it, love it. Hi, Shannon. How are you? Thanks for joining us tonight. Charles. Okay. I'm getting the Facebook page up here. 1 second. So on Facebook, we have Beverly, Paula. Nice to see you. So glad that you could join us. And Dewana's on Facebook too. So how is everybody doing? I have to say I've missed you all. But I have taken this time to teach myself and be taught a lot of things that are going to help the channel. So I'm excited. Hi, Angela on Facebook. How are you? So, as you all can see, the name of the channel has changed due to creative differences. Frank and I are no longer partnering on the channel. So, we are going to do a bunch of stuff coming up. I am setting a consistent schedule for the channel. I have people that are going to help me research, and a lot more content is going to be coming out. I know that this is probably surprising to a lot of you. There was just some differences, the way that I wanted to grow the channel and things like that, and go in a new direction. And we ended things amicably. So I wish Frank all the best. I have begun changing the name, and merchandise will be changing. A lot of things will be changing. So, yes, it is a surprise. I know that some individuals will leave the channel and follow Frank wherever he is, and wherever he goes. Like I said, I love that man. He is like an older brother to me, but sometimes things have to change. So that is what we're doing. Going to be bringing on some new people to help me out with stories. I'm trying to follow 3 trials right now, and it's not happening. Just not working. So I am going to be bringing on some female creators, some male creators. I'm going to get family members more involved. One of the cases that's always got under my hands, nails, whatever it is the 3 missing Skelton brothers out of Michigan. And this week I found out that a family member follows our channel and is on our Facebook group. So I'm going to reach out to that individual and see if they would like to help bring their story to everyone. I am still committed to Tabitha's story. I have been working extremely hard the past 2 weeks on that case, on the first video. So with Tabitha's case, you're going to get a combination of lives and videos that are in a podcast format. After I read the first transcript, deposition, whatever you want to call it, it's too hard doing it yourself, trying to do the different parts. So I've had all my family members helping me. My sister Paula on Facebook's been helping me. My husband even helped me record. So you're going to get a little bit of everything on that one. And a lot more information quicker on that also. So I'm just going to come back here and look at the comments that I missed after my announcement. True Crime with Shannon, would love to work with you again. Absolutely. Criminally focused. Yep. Going to be working with you also. And I can't wait. Doing a lot better now than I was, Marv. Oh, so glad to hear that. So yeah, if you need any help with graphics, let me know. Just hit me up. Thank you very much. There's a lot to change over and redo, and so I'll be working on that. I've got people saying I'll help research. That's great. No need to explain further. Thank you. Yeah, and if Frank's up for it, we can, definitely. And yes, you can follow whoever you want to. A lot of my subscribers are subscribers of other channels. And I love that because you guys all get to see a different perspective from the creators. Each of us have strengths and talents, and you deserve to get information about one case in a bunch of different aspects, different variety of ways. So change isn't always easy, but sometimes it's needed. Absolutely. You'll do awesome. Totally will help you out. Thank you. No, I'm not. Okay, so I did redo the description for the channel on YouTube. And I said anything true crime related. But I'm not going into politics. I won't do it. Won't do it. Sorry, but not surprising to me. Hello, Susie. Yes, it's a fake background. Yes, Michigan is your hood. That case is so sad. It is. But I'm excited to go back to the roots of when I started originally with Marvelous Investigates. All these older cases, all the newer cases, those older cases, we got to bring them back to the forefront. And that's what I plan on doing. There's going to be stories that a lot of you have heard. There's going to be stories that very few of you have heard. So did he, or is he still in jail? I gotta brush up on that, but we'll find out. So trying to follow Facebook by looking at my screen and Facebook, but it's kind of hard. Let's see, the last scene, what they're said. Let's see here. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, everybody, for your support. I really appreciate it. It's been a rough couple of days for me. And I moving on, and I'm excited about the future for this channel and what we're going to do to get these stories out. My cousin was killed by a serial killer and it's still unsolved. Charles, you need to email that to me. For right now, still use marv.n.frank@gmail.com. But one of the things that I'm definitely going to do is I've had people, our members, our subscribers, sending me cases. And I want to make sure we get those cases out on the channel because they're important to you since you sent them to me. And like I said, it's important for these victims' voices to be heard. So we're going to have a mixture of old, new, things that you've sent, all kinds of good things. Yeah, Charles, I would actually love for you to email me and for you to come on here and tell your relative's story. That is heartbreaking. So if you're willing to do that, shoot me an email. So what is going on? He's been gone since I was teen in the 90s. I bet. I had a conversation with somebody today and I said, I want to bring many, many victim stories to the forefront on this channel and give it their time in the public. I want these stories of these victims to be brought here and get time just like Delphi has. I'm still doing Delphi, everyone. Not changing that. But as I said in the past, I do not want to be just a Delphi only channel. We started out with Delphi. That was the hottest case at the time. It was hopping. Things were constantly moving. And, we're still going to talk about it. There's still things that we're getting ready to. We got a hearing coming up in June. So Delphi is my baby. We will always talk about Delphi, but I am going to be bringing so much more content and victim stories to you. It's important to me. So tonight, I thought, what better way to get back into the saddle than talking about a stupid criminal? So, I'm hoping you're going to follow me here because we all know that crimes are horrific. But sometimes you come across a story that is just really out there and you're like, what were you thinking? Well, this is one of those stories. So this comes from Court TV. I found this on Twitter. And it is a story that comes out of Arkansas. Little Rock, Arkansas. An Arkansas woman has pleaded not guilty to charges that she sold 20 boxes of stolen body parts from medical school cadavers to a Pennsylvania man for nearly $11,000. On April 5th indictment, unsealed Friday in federal court in Little Rock, accuses Candace Chapman Scott, 36, a former mortuary worker, of setting up the transactions with a man she met through a Facebook group about oddities. Scott, a Little Rock resident, pleaded not guilty to 12 counts, including conspiracy to commit mail fraud, conspiracy to commit wire fraud, conspiracy to commit interstate transportation of stolen property, and interstate transportation. Well, why did they repeat that? She is in jail. She has a hearing on whether she will be released on bail scheduled for Tuesday. And this was on May 1st. So I guess I'm going to have to go look up an update. So it says the buyer is not identified in the federal indictment, but separate state charges in Pennsylvania named him as Jeremy Lee Pauley. How in your right mind do you work for a mortuary and steal body parts to sell them? I don't get it. I absolutely don't get it. So the indictment, before I go there, part of her job was to transport, cremate, and embalm remains. The University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences has said that's where the medical school sent remains of cadavers that had been donated for medical students to examine. So one of the things with my mom, before she passed away, she donated her body to science. So this is what some individuals can choose to do. When she first approached me, I'm like, well, I don't know, And then I thought about it and I'm like, well, this is what she wants to do. So, and it helps. It really does help when you donate your body to science. They can look at all kinds of things. Unfortunately, the way that she passed away of having an aneurysm, they couldn't accept her remains, her body. So we ended up having to cremate her on our own and spread her ashes. But so this is what this woman is working with. Individuals who want to donate their bodies to science, they can fill out a form. Normally what happens is after they pass, their body is transferred to some big facility. They do the research, they cremate the remains, and then they send them back to you. Well, this one, the indictment alleges Scott approached Pauley in October of 2021 and began offering to sell him remains from the medical school that the mortuary was supposed to cremate and return. So just out of curiosity, do you know anyone in the market for a fully intact embalmed brain? How these two connected is beyond me. Why he wanted to purchase these body parts is beyond me. It's crazy. So the indictment alleges that over the next 9 months, Scott sold Polly fetuses, brains, hearts, lungs, genitalia, large pieces of skin, and other body parts. And at one point, the indictment alleges Scott sold the remains of a fetus at a discount, writing, "He's not in great shape." Now, imagine you are that fetus's mother or father or grandmother or grandfather or other family member, and you find out that your baby, who was supposed to be, looked at for science purposes and cremated, was given to some crazy man. Let me show you a picture of him. And you'll see why I'm like, oh my goodness. This photo provided by the East Pennsboro Township Police Department shows Jeremy Lee Polly. What do you think of that? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So the indictment alleges Scott collected $10,975 in 16 separate PayPal transfers. Prosecutors argue that Scott should remain jailed until trial, which I would have to agree with them. And the reason they want her to remain incarcerated is because they believe she could be motivated to flee due to the prospect of a long prison sentence. I would have to agree with the article that this is shocking and horrific for any of the families that may have had this invasion on their family members taking place. This is going to be an extremely difficult case. Not necessarily for the prosecuting of her, but for hearing the details and for the family members who find out that it was their family member that was affected. Ruckus, I gotta love you. Love you in your comments. You make me smile. So like I said, dumb criminal of the week, I guess, of the month. I don't know. I guess it takes one sick mind to come together with another sick mind to come up with something like this. I'm sure this is not the first time this has happened, and it won't be the last. But this is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Let's see what your thoughts are on this. We're going to take a look at the chat. Ruckus, I donated my body to science as well. Like I said, when I first heard about it, I'm like, well, what? But then it made sense after she said that she wanted to help people. Ladybug says, I'm donating. Honeybee says, just came on, caught a bit at the beginning. You rock, Marv. I'll be one of your loyal subscribers. Well, thank you so much. Yeah, you is right. CJK, creepy and weird? Definitely. Absolutely. My thoughts exactly when I first saw this late last night. He's a real looker. Yeah. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Yeah. What do you mean you've seen that horrible face before? Now, I've heard, and I know that people do this, but I've heard a lot of animals are used for testing and stuff. But if you think about it, animals and people are, I guess, could be similar. But the best way to fight a disease is to actually look at a human body and what's happening. Yes, CJK. I couldn't sit through the trial and hear the awful details. And it doesn't matter what case we're talking about. This happens on a daily basis. Look at the trials that are going on right now. Gannon Stouch and what his stepmother did to him. The Wests, Orrin and Orson. We still don't know exactly what happened to them, but there's information coming out in that trial too. And then you have Lori Vallow Daybell. Lots of shockers have come out in the past couple of weeks on that trial. Not so pretty things have been said as to what has happened to those kids. Every day, there's families that sit in courtrooms and have to listen to the horrific details of what happened to their loved one. Every single day. And they do it. Some have to leave. Some are able to stay. I give both credit for being there. That was a male. That is the guy. I'll put his picture back up here. This is the gentleman. I don't even know if I can say gentleman. This is the man that bought the body parts. Someone on Weakest Link was a collector last night and they wanted a human skull on auction in LA. I really didn't know that was a thing. Yeah, it is. And Crystal Dawn, I will agree with you. They're competing for craziest or most awful crimes these days. Charles says you can buy old bones, sadly, for scientific purposes or teaching or worse. I'm sure they don't look into what you need this stuff for. Some of it goes to people who are really trying to make a difference and help. But some of it is going to some very, very sick individuals. My uncle was an organ donor. He got an offender bender and they chased him down the street. A lot of medical advancements came from the German death camps. It did. But millions and millions of people were murdered in order to get those advancements. CJK, I'm a crier, and when it comes to kids being hurt, and if they're your family members, I'd be hysterical. Yes. I think there's times that I could handle it and sit there, and then there's other times I would not. I cry at Little House on the Prairie, so I'm right there with you. Very sick, yes. Okay, Angela says, I thought that oh wow, that is messed up looking female. Makes more sense it's a man, yeah. And I don't know if you can tell in this picture. I gotta blow it up a little bit. Do you see the metal thing sticking out of his head? And the weird eye. Does he have an issue with his eye? Does he have a contact that makes his eye look weird? I mean, the tattoos, the piercings, the ears, even, that's all normal. The eye freaks me out. But why would you put metal little things in your head? That doesn't seem fun to me at all. And I want to know, how do you shave your head properly without nicking one of those and making it hurt? Weird things that go through my mind. Sorry. Marv, you need to have, you could rename it or not, and we can have our drinks. We're definitely going to have one of them soon. Yes, and I've heard of funeral homes selling body parts too, which is even more absurd. I can't tell what it is. But if you want to look at a closer picture, this is on the Facebook group, and you can blow that picture up and look. Yeah, you're curious, but then again, you don't want to know. It just doesn't sound right. It sounds painful to me. Yeah, not scratches. That's actual metal. You can tell it looks metal, like metal horns. Some people have their eye too. Oh. It's hard to tell. Could be. Oh my goodness. That thought never came across my mind, you guys, that he actually had his eyeball tattooed. Oh my God. No. No. I have a hard time going to the eye doctor and having them do the little puff of air in your eyeball. I couldn't even think of that. No way. Oh wow. That's another thought, I guess. That's crazy. I saw where in Colorado at the prison, some of the prisoners dyed the whites of their eyes tattooed black. Okay, if they're dyeing it, I guess I could see that. But when I think tattoo, I think needle in the eye. Ugh, no, not for me. Sorry. Oh, not good at all. That thought that is horrific. Stoke. Okay, thank you very much for helping me pronounce that. I always wondered. I've heard it pronounced differently. Clark handed me a pen that he held in his ear gauge. I said, I'm good. I have my own. Yeah, that would gross me out too. It's probably not abnormal for him if he's trying to purchase body parts. Oh, I think I remember that episode now that you mention it. On Criminal Minds, that's one of my favorite shows. Huh. So I wanted to bring you that story because it's weird. It's crazy. It's horrific. It's sad for these families of the individuals' parts that were sold. Yeah, lots of crazy stuff. Let's talk a little bit about Delphi. So it looks like the prosecutor is requesting or subpoenaing information from CVS for Richard Allen. I wonder what kind of information they want, besides like work history, what times he was there, what times he wasn't there. I mean, what else could they want? So I'm going to show you this document here. Filed by State of Indiana. Motion to reconsider and request for due processing hearing. Now, I'm surprised he hasn't done this earlier. Verified request to prohibit public access to a court record, filed by Richard Allen. Motion to quash subpoena, filed by Richard Allen. There's a couple of those, few of those. And then verified request to prohibit public access to a court record, filed by Richard Allen on 5/3. So all of these were yesterday. Normally we see all that from the prosecutor, McClelland. So you say health records, hospital stays, but they would get that from the medical facility, not his work. Good question. I also wonder if there was any DNA found at his work. I don't know. Could be looking for video footage of when he was there and what he was doing. Yep, that's what I thought right off the bat, Charles. I thought they're looking at his punch in, punch out, and if he's got any issues, things like that. But medical leave records, they would have that, yes. To see if he called off that day. Yep. Maybe they do want to know if he was developing pictures there. Well, we know he was developing pictures because we were told that he gave, just because he gave the pictures to a family member of Libby's doesn't mean that he actually developed the pictures. Ari's lawyers are doing a fantastic job under other than ideal conditions and circumstances. Yeah, they have to defend him. He is considered innocent until proven guilty by a court of law. I kind of wondered about this too, to see if maybe he developed some of his own pictures, but I don't know how that works. How long do they keep negatives for when they develop the pictures? I know they give you the negatives, or they used to in the old days. Yeah, we did. We all graduated to true crime. Yeah, from good old criminology TV shows. Looks as if the prosecutor or LE filed it wrong. Maybe. I was wondering this too. I believe I have to look at the HIPAA laws to find out if that would be protected or not. I'm thinking because it's a murder investigation, the police may be able to get that. Yeah, it's hard to tell. I guess that's going to be one of the things I have to research is the HIPAA law and how it pertains to the police or any law enforcement. How long after the murders before he went to rehab? I'll have to look at that too because I don't remember that one offhand. Have to remember they have a dog of a private detective working it too. Just be prepared. Yep. That's okay, Mike. Glad you're here. Yeah, and he could have held on to the negatives or made a copy. Oh, so let's see. Who's this? Got to scroll up here. So Stephanie says they still give you the negatives. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, and there's a motion to quash as well. So I'm sure there's certain things that he does not want them to get a hold of. Miracle Heart says they definitely heavily implied upon him to keep silent, and anything he says can and will be used against him. Exactly. Let's see here. The HIPAA privacy rule contains an exception permitting a covered entity to disclose PHI to law enforcement officials without patient authorization if there's a court order or court-ordered warrant. Okay, so I'm assuming McClellan had to get a warrant then, or a subpoena from a judge to get these documents. I would agree with you in a way, Charles, but I'm wondering, we've always heard there's pictures and video of something in this case. He has been arrested of felony murder. Could he have gone in and developed pictures from his own devices? And I think maybe that is what they could be looking for too. Yep, complaints from other female employees. Exactly. So yeah. And we know that Richard Allen,
This out of girl.
And we know that Richard Allen also sent a second letter to the judge. We don't know what's in the letter. I'm curious to know what's in the letter. I have a feeling it's all about him wanting to be moved out of Westville. Digital, yes. I agree. I have heard that too, that a lot of it's corporate policy to do that free of charge. That's the only other thing I could think of, Olivia's. Did he develop his own pictures when nobody else was around? Yeah, good point. Why else would they have all the digital devices listed on the search warrants? Exactly. There's been confusion when asked. BP said they were for the funeral, not of the funeral. Exactly. So Becky and I have talked about this. She had a relative go pick up pictures of the girls so that they could have the pictures at the funerals. It was not pictures of the actual funeral. They were for the funerals, not the funeral. And there could be records if he did. Yeah. The only thing I guess I'd have to do a little bit more investigation and research into that. I know they get negatives. I'm sure they keep a copy. But if you're an employee and you can run the machine, what's to say you're going to let a copy float out there? You're going to take it all. Unless there's some kind of technical issue where it gets transmitted somewhere and there's a copy of it. Lisa says, I wonder if they checked records of phones sold, CVS box, and it is still there when box emptied. Huh. Yeah, it's not that he was going to pay for it. It's that a lot of the CVS stores, if it has to do with a funeral and the pictures are for the funeral, they do not charge the families. Yes, they took a lot of pictures, I'm heard, around his house. We know that items were taken out of the shed and the house. So I can't wait for this trial. I want the details. I want the details. Just like we're finding out in the other trials that's going on right now. Hi, Stephanie. Thanks for everybody that's watching over on Facebook. I appreciate it. Let's see. There was one. Oh, yes. So each time, going right back to Delphi here, I am going to share this because this is an annual event that takes place. So Saturday, June 3rd at 10 a.m., they are having the Abby and Libby Memorial Park Ride. I have shared this on our Facebook group. So if you need the details of where it's going to be, it's on there. So if you're in the area and you can go and participate in that, that would be great. And then now one of the things we all have busy lives. And like I said, I've been trying to follow 3 cases at one time, and it's just not working. So I wanted to share with you the individual that I am following for the trial of Trezell and Jacqueline West in the Orrin and Orson murder case. I found an individual by the name of Lawyer Mystery Maven. So if any of you, and I did put this on the Facebook page also, if any of you are interested in that case and you just haven't been able to keep up, she does a great recap of each day that lasts about an hour, hour and a half. I usually listen to part of it as I'm working, and if I have meetings or whatever I'm doing, I'll pause it and then I go back and listen to the other half when I can. So that is definitely something that I wanted to share with you because I know a lot of people are interested in justice for Orrin and Orson West. Each time we do a live, I'm going to go back and I'm going to try to do a missing person. And I'm looking for the one that I said I would promote. If you're not part of the Facebook group, I have to say there are so many stories of victims' cases, trials, missing people that I post on a daily basis. So this one actually comes from Brigham City Police Department, and they were found safe. That is awesome. So these were 2 runaways. I didn't see the update here from yesterday, so I'm glad. But I do have another one that I'm going to share with you. This is Nia, I think you pronounce it Buys, missing since April 14th, 2023 from Knoxville, Tennessee. She's 23 years old. Black hair, brown eyes, 6 feet tall, and weighs 170 pounds. She's believed to be in Virginia. She was last wearing a green hoodie and blue jeans. She takes medicine and could be at a serious medical risk. So if you have any information or you can share this, please make sure that you put the poster on there. Gives the picture and the details here. But they're asking that you contact East Tennessee Valley Crime Stoppers. She's very tall. So, and she's wearing glasses. So I'm hoping that we can help share this one out. We've had a very good response from all of you when we asked to share this out. I will also put this poster on our community page, so it's easier for all of you to get a hold of. You can save it to your computer and share it on your own pages and groups and everything. But we've had good luck with missing people and getting this information out and helping to find people. So I'm hoping that we can do that again in Nia's case. Yes, I heard about the body being found in Greene County, Indiana. I'm waiting for more information to come out, and we'll be talking about that. One of the other stories that I've got somebody looking for me is the case out of, where is it? I'm looking here, where the 7 individuals were killed. And I know I posted Oklahoma. So the man that was living with the mother and her children should have never been let out of jail in the first place. I know that. I know that he committed murder-suicide. He killed her and her 3 kids and 2 of their friends that were spending the night. In Oklahoma, yes. This is a big story that's out. So, in the next few days, we will be bringing you this story. We just need to collect a little bit more information. So, I want to thank all of you for joining me tonight. I have a big weekend coming up. I have to say, things haven't been too easy around here. My daughter is going to be finishing her first year of college next week. She comes home next Thursday. So in order to help her move things back home, on Saturday, I am driving up to Minnesota, spending a little bit of time with her, packing up my car, and coming back home. And that way she can't bring everything in one trip. That way, whatever is left, she can bring home on Thursday with her. I have also had a colleague of mine who recently lost her husband. She's young. She's got young kids. And so we are doing double the work at work to help cover her while she's out for the next month. There's a lot of times during work where if people message me, call me, I'll take the call and I'll work at the same time, or I'll answer their message. But I'm not going to be able to do that as much because we have double the work. And so I just want everybody to know that I will get to the email messages. I will get to your messages. It might just take me a little bit more time. It's going to have to be done after work. And I'll return phone calls and return messages and emails. So, with that being said, I have one more thing that I want to promote today. And that is we're going to put this on the Facebook page. I'm also going to put it on the community channel. But there is in Kokomo this weekend, there is a spring fleeing and hot rod machines benefit show. Andrea can tell you all about this. She is the one that puts on this. Andrea, can you put in the chat who benefits from this every year when you do the car show? So, like I said, I will put the flyer for it on the community channel and in the Facebook group. And if you don't have anything to do this weekend and you're in the Kokomo area, go check out the car show. It's a big event. It's becoming a big event, and it helps the disabled American veterans. So Andrea has put a lot of heart and time into this, and we just want to see her succeed and raise as much money for the disabled American veterans as possible. So like I said, if you don't have anything planned and you're in the Kokomo area, go check it out. And watching a live from my car show. Yep. So there will be food trucks, live band, door prizes, and a 50-50 drawing at the car show. So help support one of our own and help support the disabled American veterans. I have to say, I have wonderful, wonderful subscribers, members, anybody who watches the show. I have to say thank you so much for your support tonight. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So I am going to start off by ending our lives saying, in a world that is full of ugliness and hate, be a light. Reach out to others who need a smile, a friendly smile, a handshake. Reach out to the people of the world. Bring a little empathy back. Bring some love back into the world. So I'm signing off for right now. The next thing that's going to happen on the channel is the video for the statement of Michael Rains, who is Tabitha's husband. I tried to get it to where it uploaded for today, and it bombed out on me. It's probably about an hour long, and it takes forever to upload these to YouTube. So I'm going to try again tomorrow night, because then Saturday it can run into the morning. Whereas if I do it, I think the reason it bombed out is because I have to work and I take up the Wi-Fi, and it bombed out. So that is coming. After that, this weekend, like I said, Saturday, I am going to Minnesota. I will try to do another live on Sunday about a topic. I'll pick one out. And then by Tuesday, you will know what schedule this channel is going to have. There's been a lot of inconsistency with the channel. I hated it, but I couldn't figure it out. So I am committing to either one video and one live a week or something like that, and then short pre-recorded on missing people. If there's any breaking news, I definitely will do a live on that breaking news on the cases that we're following. Definitely. And then we will be having, right now to start with, one members live chat or video or live stream a month. As we get going and we get our steam going, I'm hoping to do one in the beginning of the month and one at the end of the month. So with that being said, thank you all so much for your support. I appreciate it. Be kind to one another. Be kind to a stranger on the street. Chain reaction. If we're kind to somebody else, it will keep going. And it could just brighten up somebody's day. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining me.